This is the L2C Media Network on YouTube, and this is Steve Baxley Sports Final. I love LA. And here he is. By the way, we're sponsored by the L2C Media Network. And with the headlines, details, and the smorgasbord of sports, here's Steve Baxley. Baxman, it's yours. Hey, how's it going, everybody? You want to put that applause more? Thank you very much. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to, a very strange broadcast tonight. Why? Because the Dodgers won, but we got two questions, two concerns. Justin Turner, number one, during the second inning was pulled because, and I'm going to use this word, supposedly, he registered a positive for COVID-19. I say supposedly, reportedly, because if this is a false positive, and God, I hope it is, that Major League Baseball has got, as Ricky Ricardo would say, baseball, you has a lot of explaining to do. That's right. Right now, Fox is interviewing the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays. And if you can hear it through my talking, that's good enough because I don't want a copyright strike. So let's continue. I said there are two questions I had, health questions. Was it did Justin Turner, did he test positive for COVID, or is this another one of the false positives? And second, the health of the commissioner. I'm sorry, but when he presented the World Series trophy, he was strong. He was cognizant. He spoke with clarity, with strength, with power. But when he presented the MVP award and trophy and did the interview with Fox Sports, he sounded weak. His voice, he slurred. He was having trouble speaking. The commissioner better get himself checked. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I'm not going to be one of these people that, says other, but when you at first start to speak powerfully, speak with strength, stamina, heart, soul, and then you start speaking like you slur and it.
Kevin, thanks very much.
I gotta ask, is the commissioner okay?
Kevin, thank you.
Anyway,
thank you. We'll get to that decision in a little bit. Right now, we're going back to Arlington, joined by another World Series champion.
Well, they're doing some interviews. We got sports to do, and the celebration is doing okay right now. They had Sky 11 up from KTTV in Los Angeles. And there was a guy in a car doing donuts. They've already closed some roads from what I understand. But still, we go forward. And that is what we're planning on doing. By the way, Nick Rekieta and Law Explaining the Interwebs is on the Rekieta Law channel here on YouTube. He's going to talk ACB and some shenanigans in Michigan in the upcoming vote, November 3rd. So enjoy, as they say. But we're going to talk everything and get y'all sportsified, updated. And much like NASCAR has done with their Sunday race, moving it to Monday, moving it to Tuesday, now moving it to Wednesday due to weather, we're going to move our NFL coverage to another day. because this is mainly the World Series talk. We'll have other scores in the headlines. And the biggest headline we're going to talk about, first off, is, of course, the World Series. And for the first time since 1988, the Dodgers did it. And now LA has returned as the city of champions. Let's take you on that nice little verbal ride. That's right. For the first time since 3-1, it's the 7th title in the franchise history. 55, 59, 63, 65, 81, 88, and 2020. Chances were that Game 6 will be remembered not so much for what the Dodgers did, but what the Rays did. Specifically, manager Kevin Cash pulled his ace, Blake Snell, in the 6th inning, even though he was cruising all night. Los Angeles immediately jumped on reliever Nick Anderson and took the lead, and they never let go. Mookie Betts slugged an insurance solo home run in the 8th, and can you believe the Red Sox traded that guy? To put Game 6 to bed, Julio Urias recorded the final 7 outs to close out the win and the World Series. Now, Blake Snell was in Cy Young form Tuesday night. The 2018 American League Cy Young Award winner overwhelmed the Dodgers across 5 1/3 innings, holding them to 2 hits and no walks, while striking out 9 between Game 2 and Game 6. Snell struck out 18 of the 38 batters he faced in the World Series, or 47.4%. And sources claim that, or confirm that, is good. Now, elevated fastballs above the zone and snapdragon breaking balls down. The 16 misses came on 34 swings. So Snell posted an insane 47.1% swing and miss rate. He became the first pitcher to strike out 9 batters through the first 4 innings of a World Series since Sandy Koufax in Game 1. Let's go right now to the man himself.
I don't know, man. I just believe in me. I believe in my stuff. I believe in, what I was doing. I didn't walk nobody. They had 2, hits up the middle. And, the slider to Barnes, tip your cap. That was a bad pitch. And he got a hit off that. Good job. But for most of that game, man, I was dominating every outcome possible. So, and that lineup is so talented, and yeah, I don't know. I'm proud of the way that, I scouted them. I scouted myself. I'm just proud of everything I did to put the team in a situation to win. And I wanted to keep going, man. I felt so confident, how I adjusted through seeing them the second time and what I was going to be able to do a third time. Like, man, and the fourth time if needed, I wanted to go that whole game. That was everything I wanted to do was just, burn the tank and see how far I could go.
Okay, that was Blake Snell. You heard him, the 5th inning. And the 9 balls he allowed had an average exit velocity of 78.4 miles per hour. A.J. Pollock lined out the 3rd and the 3rd. Otherwise, Snell allowed no hard contact at all. He was dominant. The Rays have shown time and time again they will stick to their plan no matter what, and the Game 6 plan called for Snell to go through the lineup 2 times and no more. Now, despite his dominance, manager Kevin Cash yanked Snell after number 9, Austin Barnes, singled in the 6th. He threw 73 pitches. That was incredible. Snell is a Cy Young winner, and he spent his entire life working up to that moment. He was delivering in a spectacular fashion. His manager pulled him at 73 pitches because the 3rd time through the order penalty, which is a real thing. Snell's career splits. First time through the lineup, .592 OPS. Second time, .711 OPS. Third time, .742 OPS. Snell was throwing the out of that ball. Look at it this way. Would Mookie Bettis, Corey Seager, and Justin Turner rather face Blake Snell or Nick Anderson? Those three went 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts against Snell in Game 6. I'm guessing, and so is everybody else, that they were happy to see Anderson. Anderson's postseason struggles, of course, continued in Game 6. Snell came out. Anderson came in, and 6 pitches later, Tampa's 1-0 lead was a 2-1 deficit. Betts doubled. Anderson gifted the Dodgers a run on a wild pitch. Then Betts scored on a Seager grounder to first. 6 pitches, all it took for a move to backfire. And now I have a feeling that manager is going to be questioned before he gets the Ziggy, if he even sticks around. Now, with that, Anderson became the first pitcher in baseball history to allow a run in 7 consecutive postseason appearances. He finished his postseason with 9 runs allowed in 14 and 2/3 innings after allowing 7 runs in 37 and 2/3 regular season innings with the Dodgers the last 2 years. Now, given the outcome, it's easy to bash analytics for the decision to pull Snell, but the Rays and Dodgers relied heavily on analytics to get them to the World Series in the first place. I mean, wow. Pulling Snell was not an analytical mistake. It was a managerial mistake. Cash is going to be questioned about that by the critics. And, well, yeah, Cash didn't consider what was happening right in front of him. And that was not only the Dodgers looking helpless against Snell, but Anderson not being himself this October. More faith in the ace was warranted. Pulling Snell was Cash's leave Zach Britton in the bullpen moment. And for the 5th straight game, runs were scored in the top of the first. The Rays did it in Game 2. Dodgers did it in Games 3 through 5. And Randy Arozarena did the honors in Game 6. Randy took Tony Gonsolin out to the opposite field in a quick 1-0 lead, and his 10th home run of the postseason. Incredible. Not a terrible pitch. It wasn't a good pitch. It was a slider that hung up, but it wasn't terrible. And it wasn't in the strike zone. According to Inside Edge, Arozarena had 5 hits on pitches out of the strike zone. This postseason, he had just 1 during the regular season. Also, that was only the 3rd of his 10 postseason homers on a non-fastball. Arozarena, 10 homers, extended his single postseason record, and he joins Charlie Keller from the 39 Yankees as the only rookies to hit 3 homers in the World Series. There were 21 home runs in this World Series in general. That's tied for the 3rd most all time. Again, let's go through the 4. Dodgers Astros 2017, 27 homers, 7 games. Nationals versus Astros 2019, 22 homers, 7 games. Angels versus Giants in 2002, 21 homers, 7 games. Dodgers versus Rays in 2020, 21 homers, 6 games. The Rays badly needed to avoid falling behind early again in Game 6, and they did that. The first inning also made their postseason offense to date through. Arozarena did all the work. Tampa put runners on first and second with 1 out after the homer, but failed to tack on. The bullpen starter Tony Gonsolin for the Dodgers mustered only 5 outs in Game 6, but the occasionally embattered bullpen picked him up in a huge way. 6 relievers held the Rays to 2 hits and 7 1/3 scoreless innings. They struck out 12. Julio Urias retired the final 7 batters to close out the game. The single biggest out of the game came in the 2nd inning. The Rays had 2 runners on with 2 outs for Arozarena, and Dylan Floro came out of the bullpen to strike him out on 3 pitches, all changeups as well. It was a huge out to keep the Rays close. Tampa had 2 base runners the rest of the game, and there were a lot of strikeouts. The Rays and Dodgers combined to strike out 27 batters in Game 6, the most ever in a 9-inning World Series game. The previous was 25 strikeouts, done several times, most recent in Game 3 of the 2000 World Series. The record for strikeouts in a World Series game of any length is 34 in Game 3 of the 2018 World Series. That, of course, was the 18-inning game. More than half the outs in Game 6 were strikeouts. And, well, you got to say this. Justin Turner was removed in the 8th inning of Game 6, and considering he is among the Dodgers' best hitters and the game was close, an injury seemed like the logical explanation. He battled hamstring problems much of the season. The reality was much worse. Turner tested positive for COVID-19. He was not allowed to celebrate with his teammates after the game. Commissioner Rob Manfred said Turner's test results arrived during the game, which is why he was not pulled earlier. Major League Baseball had not had a positive test in weeks, but when you run as many tests as the league has, it's only a matter of time until you run into a false positive, and hopefully that is what's happened with Turner. The Dodgers, nonetheless, are world champions. They beat the Tampa Bay Rays 3-1 and take the series 4-2. Now, let's continue on with the updates and everything. We're on the air until about 1:30, 1:35. The NASCAR race, 3 o'clock. The NASCAR Texas race, 3 o'clock on NBCSN. They'll start from lap 53. We hope. The weather forecast kind of looks a bit iffy, but if the weather's going to... Now, NASCAR has to get ready for the next race. If they have to postpone again, the next Sunday's race could be in doubt. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's go for a little soccer, shall we? Of course we're going to go for a little soccer. FC Barcelona president Josep Maria Bartomeu has stepped down. The head of one of the world's most popular and most renowned clubs resigned, the club announced on Tuesday. Bartomeu's departure could potentially factor into whether superstar Lionel Messi ultimately decides to leave the club next summer when his contract expires after pushing for a move this past summer, and it could have an impact on European soccer in the future, with him saying that he has accepted a proposal to participate in the future European Super League. Oh, this is heavy. Bartomeu has been a controversial figure as the head of the club, clashing with Messi and overseeing a club that hasn't contended for the top prize, the UEFA Champions League, in years. While also failing miserably on numerous transfers that just haven't worked out. Bartomeu became president in January 2014 with the team winning the UCL and La Liga that season following the presidency of Sandro Rosell. And we'll have more on this story as the information continues to come in. Incredible.
We're watching the images of you guys taking the team pictures.
And
just with Justin Turner, has anything changed with him? I don't even know how much you know, but obviously
that is wild.
To see him out there, but is everything okay with him?
Now,
you know what? All I know is that I had to take him out of the game in the 7th, which was crazy.
Let's go to the NFL coach hot seat rankings.
He's behind me right now talking to Andrew, and I don't know what the heck they're talking about. He was in the team picture.
But
I didn't touch him just because I just didn't know. But
let's
really crazy, and it was really
let's get you some hotness here. The 2020 NFL season is nearing its midway point. And it's been quite a ride. Given complications stemming from the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, along with a rash of severe injuries around the league, not every club was brimming with hope and expectation. The season got underway in September, while some who were or have seen are, quote, head coach Dennis Green, exactly who we thought they were. Now, we're not letting them off the hook, though, with Dan Quinn and Bill O'Brien having been exiled by the Falcons and Texans, respectfully. Let's go see whose butt's burning in the NFL coaching ranks. Obviously, number one is Adam Gaz. 2019, all it took was a defeat of the unimpressive 2019 Giants to secure Gaz's job, with team owner Christopher Johnson stating unequivocally there will be no changes at the head coach position last season. Despite early struggles, Johnson was clear that Gaze would return for 2020, and he has. That's not the weird part, though, considering the team finished with a 6-2 record in their last 8 games with Sam Darnold returning from a bout with mononucleosis. Well, that was weird, but gets worse. What was up with the relationship between Gaz and all-pro running back Le'Veon Bell? And is Darnold suddenly not good, or is it all attributed to Gase? Bell has now been released not long after Jamal Adams was traded, both having very public issues with the coach, pushing the Jets deeper into the abyss. Currently at 0-7, the Jets are now 7-16 in Gaze's first 23 games as head coach and play caller. And an offense that was ranked 31st in the league in 2019 and is now ranked 32nd, scoring a measly 12.1 points per game, while their defense allows 29 points per contest. That's 24th, by the way. Not that there was any armor to begin with, but if there was, it's been cracking for a while now, and even more so with the defensive coordinator, Greg Williams, taking veiled shot at the offense's inability to stay on the field and score points. Gase finally gave up play calling duties in week 7 after passionately saying he never would. That's clear indication he may be on his last legs, as he should be, given the continued ineptitude and regression of Darnold on his watch. How about the Jaguars' Doug Marrone? God, somebody just get the hook on this guy. He's not even worth talking about. Jaguars are just butt awful. And they need help. Now, Matt Patricia, the current 2-game winning streak capped by an impressive come-from-behind victory over the Atlanta Falcons at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Week 7. It bought Patricia some time and some slack in that rope. That said, having dropped 3 of their first 4 games entering the season where Patricia was viewed as having a hot foot and hot everything else in that seat, his recent round success does not absolve him of all of his sins, which is why he's on the list, although his pants are very much nearing chilled capacity than either Gaze or Moreau. Now, when the Lions hired Patricia as their head coach in 2018, they did so under the guise of him having been born of the Belichick tree of coaching. Well, 2 years in, I think we got the nut. There is nothing Belichickian about this reign quite yet. As a matter of fact, it's been the opposite. The Lions have moved in the wrong direction for the past couple of years. They went an uninspiring 6-10 in year 1, and then finished 2019 with a 3-12-1 mark. They were without Matthew Stafford for 8 games, but they were 3-4-1 with their franchise QB on the field, and that record was despite Stafford having thrown for 2,499 yards along with 19 touchdowns. In other words, the QB has not been the issue, which leaves the bullseye on what else? The front office and coaching. But the former isn't going to fire themselves. Patricia is going to have to really show something and I'm going to do this because I got to have a little silence now. Can't do the commercials. He's going to have to really show something in that second half of 2020 for Lions fans and the new president of the Lions Football Club to fully buy in, because many of them are still undecided. The good news is Stafford looks back full health, and there's no shortage of offensive weapons surrounding him, with the future Hall of Fame running back Adrian Peterson joining the fold this year. They got some nice moves. Now that puts a bullseye on the defense. a unit that needs to start shutting down opponents. They have allowed an average of more than 26 points per game in 2019 and 27.5 points thus far in 2020. Doesn't look good for a coach who hangs his hat on defense and one who's been a defensive coordinator before heading to Michigan. Fix that, and you got yourself a team that possibly could be involved in maybe 2 playoff games. And there you go, roasted over a spit at 4. Okay, it is 1 o'clock, and we got about 20 minutes left. We got about 40 minutes left. Yep, 40 minutes on this broadcast. So you're going, speaking of the Lions, speaking of the Lions, oh, have we got news for you? Oh, this is precious. This is. Because today, the Lions may have given the fans some good news for once. Well, besides the 2-game winning streak. You ready for this? Everson Griffin is back in the NFC North. The Dallas Cowboys have agreed to trade the veteran defensive end to the Detroit Lions, as confirmed by Patrick Walker of CBS Sports. Now, as for the compensation, NFL Network's Ian Rappaport adds that Detroit is sending Dallas a conditional 6th-round pick in exchange for Griffin's services. Now, reports of Griffin's landing on the trade block surface early this week, and it didn't take long for a team like Detroit, who are playing in a 2-game winning streak and are looking to keep pace in the division, to come in with 6 quarterback hits and 2.5 sacks. Now joins the Lions front 7 that consists of fellow defensive end Trey Flowers, linebacker Jamie Collins, and others who have totaled 8 sacks through week 7. Now, Detroit is extremely familiar with Griffin, who spent a decade squaring up against them as a member of the Minnesota Vikings. Now, because of COVID-19 protocols that are put in place for the 2020 season, Griffin won't be able to play in the Week 8 matchup against the Colts. As fate will have it, his Lions debut is primed to be in Week 9 against, that's right, his former team, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm Casey Kasem. As for the Cowboys, they only had Griffin on a 1-year, $6 million deal, so I guess you could say he was and is the $6 million man. And he signed that back in summer. And with a 2-5 record on the year, it made sense to cut bait. In his absence, Dallas could continue to trot out Randy Gregory, who was able to return to game action this week, the first time since his reinstatement. 25th round pick Bradley and I in the defensive end rotation. So I guess you could say half of the win. Lions, Vikings past 1 o'clock, and we're going to try to stretch this show out to 1:40, but we may end at 1:35. Either way, we're going to give you a show. So there, har. Another NFL news. You're going to love this. But the Panthers did, what's that thing? What's that old saying about pouring salt into the wound? Well, the Carolina Panthers poured a heavy amount of Morton's to the wound. Eli Apple is once again looking for an NFL team. Sorry. The number 10 overall pick in the 2016, an hour late. A day where the quarterback left practice early due to a hamstring injury. Apple was spotted at the start of Tuesday's session before leaving the field. The team said in its official injury report that the 25-year-old was a non-participant due to the injury, and head coach Matt Rhule told reporters that Apple informed the team that he couldn't go. Now, while the timing of Apple's release is a bit odd, then again, we've had an odd day in sports. When factoring in that situation in practice where he told coaches he couldn't go, the Panthers aren't exactly losing a key piece to their secondary. With this move, the corner started the year on the injured reserve list due to a myriad of injuries he suffered throughout training camp, but was activated before week 4. Apple had appeared in just 2 games this season for Carolina, including Sunday's embarrassment to the New Orleans Saints. In that game, Apple played just 28 defensive snaps and recorded 4 tackles. From here, Apple, who signed a 1-year, $3 million deal with the Panthers back in May, will be looking for his 4th team in 6 years in the league, after also falling out in favor with the Giants, the team that drafted him, and the Saints. So, any predictions where he might wind up? Who knows? Stay tuned, as they say. All righty, let's keep going. Going. That's right. Let's go now from one extreme to the other and see what we got for you in the pool of media before we hit the wrestling report. Yes, we do have to report wrestling and some soccer and everything else therein. So let's go to it. ESPN's College Game Day has been everywhere. Of course, from college football stadiums. But this weekend, is it this weekend? No. But this time, College Game Day is headed where no college football pre-show has ever been before. That's right. ESPN's College Game Day will be broadcasting live. And if you're wondering why I'm talking like this, it's because this is my Jim Nance voice. Hello, neighbor. ESPN's College Game Day will be broadcasting live from Augusta National on Saturday, November 14th. That's according to releases from both Augusta National and ESPN. Of course, that means no fans, obviously, because of COVID. And I don't think Lee Corso is going to be a part of it, but you never know. That's right. They'll be there among the azaleas and the nicely mowed grass. They'll be there to talk football in the same style and voice as Jim Nance does. There'll be no hooping and hollering. It'll be a nice, calm broadcast. Yeah, right. And if you believe that, I got swampland available for sale at the Brooklyn Bridge. That's right, kids. Here's the press release. ESPN and Augusta National are bringing 2 sporting event traditions together in a unique way as College Game Day, built by the Home Depot, is set to originate from the Masters tournament, which was postponed from its traditional April date due to the pandemic. On Saturday, November 14th in Augusta, the 11-time Emmy Award-winning traveling pregame show, 9 a.m. to noon, will emanate from the Par 3 course, the site of the Masters Par 3 contest, said Jimmy Pitaro, chairman of ESPN and Sports Content. Nice title. Does the key to the executive washroom come with it? Anytime College Game Day travels to a new destination, it's special. And the opportunity to be on the grounds of Augusta National Golf Club during the Masters is extraordinary. As this iconic event coincides with the college football season for the first time, we look forward to getting fans ready for Football Saturday, while also showcasing the Masters and the greatest golfers in the world. Now for the flip side from the Masters. Given the circumstances brought about by the pandemic, the delivery of quality content is as important as ever to the storytelling of the Masters tournament, said Ridley. While we will dearly miss our patrons at Augusta National this fall, we are excited to showcase what promises to be a truly memorable Masters in a variety of ways for viewers across the world. One such way is the addition of ESPN College Game Day, which is scheduled to take place from 9 a.m. to noon before our live partners at CBS broadcast of the third round. The studio will be staged overlooking Ike's Pond and the ninth green of the par 3 course. When exploring ways to showcase the Fall Masters, we were drawn to the concept of hosting College Game Day at Augusta National to introduce the tournament to a new audience and provide even more anticipation and excitement to the event, Ridley continued. We appreciate the collaboration with ESPN, our longtime broadcast partners, for this first-of-a-kind opportunity. No, Steve, you cannot play our theme music. Rats. Now, game day has also felt very different with a lack of in-person spectators, as you'd imagine. And while they won't be on site for any of that weekend's big matchups, seeing the show broadcast live from a Masters Saturday morning is hopefully the kind of unique opportunity that's worth trying. ESPN having the first 2 rounds of the tournament doesn't hurt either. Of course, let's not forget, CBS will be producing the Masters as usual. Now, the Masters itself has always felt college football adjacent anyway, at least in spirit. And the 2020 Masters is already tied fairly close to football. Weekend tee times have been moved up to accommodate pro and college games scheduled on CBS and to account for the early sunsets. It's going to make for very cool visuals, and considering the show won't be losing out on a frenzied campus atmosphere, there shouldn't be any complaints about skipping a week to head somewhere they wouldn't normally get to go. And credit Augusta National for being open to this kind of thing in a very weird year. My one question is, will College Game Day be given the same stringent rules as CBS is given for the coverage of the Masters? Translation: are they going to be allowed, are they going to be restricted as to how many commercials they air? Stand by. This is going to be a fun trip. It's already going crazy, especially in my end. Yes, I'm Jim Nance. I kind of wish we had the... And that was my mother with her commentary. Alrighty. By the way, did you know that the SEC did finally admit the ref error during the Auburn Ole Miss game, but still fined Lane Kiffin $25,000 for retweeting the refs? Wah, wah, and wah. In the headlines of bizarreness, 6 months after massive writer furloughs and 3 months after further cuts, SB Nation, which is owned by Fox, not Fox, Vox, VOX, has added 2 more executives. Ah, yes. Don't you just love it? Yes, indeed. Okay, what else have we got here? Okay, we've already done that report. Yeah, thank you on that. Let's see. Is there any more stories to tell? Nope. I think we've covered the awful announcing bit. And best of all, we are at 1:13, which means we're about 17 minutes away from ending. So why don't we just take a victory lap? It's time to say hi to several people. And I want to say hi first to Soraya Fidel. Party hardy, but not too much. And hopefully these celebrations will be somewhat tame. Nobody's going to burn a garbage can or desecrate a couch. Anyway, to the Dodgers, congratulations and hello to Soraya Fidel, all my Los Angeles friends, including Lisa Guerrero and company. Congratulations. Just, keep that thing polished. You never know when the Tigers might need it. Here we go. Celebration. Hello, Angela Peterson, Christina Peterson, Yuki Tanaka, Anne-Marie Mann. And I have to do this because today is Yuki/Annie's birthday. So And yes, I must do my tradition, so if you will excuse me, people. Oh, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yuki. Mahalo. Oh, happy birthday to you. Oh. And a happy hello to Brenda Dixon. Almost said a happy birthday to Brenda Dixon. She's what, 24 now? Hi, Brutal Metzler, Yvonne Marie, Brenda Gaminsky, Sharon Baxley, Jay the Brain Man, Matthew Nichols, Jerry Nichols, Nancy Nichols, Tony Pickrell, Ricky Pickrell, Michael Pickrell, Amy Hayes, Frida Hayes, Morris Hayes, Sammy Phillips, Sammy O'Neill, Casey Ann, Marielle Lou from Fox 2, Bobby Langford, and of course, Donnelly Keith, Tom Ziska, Dr. Jim, Melissa Wilson, January J. Keaton, Claudia Treos, Linda Steele, all my friends, relatives, family. On Facebook, do we have time for Twitter and the Gram? Yes, we do. Oh, jolly good. I love saying hello to everybody. And that'll give us slowly time enough to do the scoreboard. See, we have everything nicely planned. That's right. So, let's do this. Hello to my friends on Twitter, to the fine personage of Ivy McKellen, Sean Broyles, as I said, Lisa Guerrero, Mandy Summers, Wyatt Holliday, Peter Gilmore, Casey Lennox, Vin Scully, Lydia Cornell, Lena Gwynn, Kellyanne Collins, Lucy Nolan, Elaine Boozler, Brad Shepard. And if that's not enough, how about Casey Lennox, Beth McLeod? How about all the fun folks like Prakash, Pito Oeda, Louisa Fernanda? How about Charlie's London? There's a hello, and how do you do? Alex Sims, Audrey Dahlgren, and the luckiest man in the world, Nick Mantis. If that's not enough, I say to you all, hi, everybody. Let's see, did I neglect anyone in mentionability? No, I did not. I say hello. Oh, to Ken Rosenthal. Hi. The Sklar brothers. And the wonderful folks, Portia Coleman being one of them. Yes, indeed. How about Dan Leach? How about Dan Leach? Yes, friends. Mary Carey, we give a hello. Who else do we give a hello to? David Marquez, Tony Khan, Sarah Kelly, Lloyd Kaufman, and the Toxic Avenger, the Barbie twins, Ken Olin, Ken Wall, Anna Kachakan, how you doing? And of course, to Alan Lee and the folks at Channel 6 and Channel 26 in Houston. Okay, and we got one more. That is, of course, to the Gram. Hello to everybody on Instagram. Ole. And Carl Ravitch just tweeted this 16 minutes ago. Quote, I reached out to Rob Manfred. Oops. Let's do that before we do the Instagram hellos. Quickly, guys, quickly. Our time is fleeting, as my favorite song goes. Carl Ravitch from ESPN just tweeted this 16 minutes ago. Boy, am I glad I'm going to get something special for you, Blue Microphone, so you don't have to fall. Quote, I reached out to Rob Manfred after the game, and he said he is fine. The in-stadium audio caused a delay, but he is healthy and delighted with the efforts of all to get through it. And so are we. So now, I guess we can all breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, there you go. That's my sigh of relief. Now, let's say hi to the Instagram, and then we go to the scoreboard, and we can get ourselves completely and controllably Vamoodified. Okay, I've already said hello to Claudia Trails, Portia Coleman, Courtney Lynn Elwood, how you doing? Francia Jones, hola. Louisa Fernanda, Dorothy Malone, how y'all doing? Boy, when I get that little object for you, you will not have any opportunity to fall. Louisa Fernanda, Peter Oida, of course. Stacy Hayes. I did mention Brenda Dixon. Yes, I did 3 times. Also, Presley and Taylor. How you ladies doing? Raina Love, of course. To Albany Irvin. To Kimberly Wells. And to Kid Noble. Fun people. Fun ladies. How you doing? We also say a big hello to everybody in Instagram land. Okay, we've done that. Guess what, folks? It's time to breathe, time to react, and time to give you the scores. It's the scoreboard, after all, 121. And I think when we end the scoreboard, we will say a bon adieu for a very busy day in sports. And tomorrow, being Wednesday, it's even going to be more busier because we have live pro wrestling. The AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite going to be live back in Jacksonville, as it has been since the pandemic. And it'll be on TNT, of course. Now, is there a reason why we are stuck? Thank you. We had a little stucky situation, but now our situation is unstuck. So we got wrestling. We have very much delayed NASCAR Texas playoff race. And I've checked the weather report. I don't know how they're going to do it, but God bless you, NASCAR. You keep putting and slugging and making it happen. Good luck. Here we go. The Champions League group stage. Lokomotiv Moscow loses to Bayern Munich 2-1. Inter and Shakhtar Donetsk ended in a 0-0 tie. Atalanta and Ajax ended in a 2-2 tie. Athletic Madrid over Salzburg 3-2. Mönchengladbach and Real Madrid tied at 2. Porto over Olympiacos Piraeus 2-0. Liverpool beat Midtjylland 2-0. Manchester City over Marseille 3-0. That's your soccer report, although there is more soccer. In basketball, in the Euro Cup, Virtus Bologna over Antwerp Giants 95-76. Morabank Andorra over Lightkabels 76-66. In Espanyol, Real Madrid over Real Betis 84-65. Murcia showed no Murcia over Barcelona 77-73. Valencia Valencia defeated Obradoiro 78-77. In hockey, they play hockey in Sweden. Very good, too. Rogel over Farstad 5-2. Lekstands over HV 71. Well, actually, it's the other way around. HV 71 over Lekstands 3-1. Malmo over Skelfti 3-2. Orebro over Burns 3-0. And Oskarshamn over Frölunda 3-2. In Finland, after penalty shots, Boston Sports lost to Asat 3-2. Ilves over JYP 6-2. Kalpa over TPS Turku 5-3. Kuku over Luku 7-2. Japanese baseball, I'm glad you asked. Fukuoka Silverhawks defeated the Chiba Latte Marines 5-1, 5-10-2 for the Hawks, 1-5-0 for the Marines. Wada got the win for the Hawks. He's 8-1. Ishikawa got the loss for the Marines. He's 7-5. Hanshin Tigers over the Chunichi Dragons 4-1, 4-9-0 for the Tigers, 1-8-2 for the Dragons. Iwazaki gets a win for the Tigers. He's 5-2. Fuku got the loss for the Dragons. He's 5-4. The Hiroshima Carp over the Akut Swallows 2-0, 2-6-1 for the Carp, both 3-1 for the Swallows. Curry, he was hot for the Carp. He won. He's 8-5. Takanashi, well, sadly, he had to swallow his pride for the loss. He's 3-6. Nippon Ham Fighters over the York Buffaloes 5-3, 5-6-0 for the Fighters, 3-10-0 for the Buffaloes. Sakabakara got the loss. He's 1-3 for the Buffaloes. Kato, without the Green Hornet, got the win for the Ham Fighters. He's 3-2. Cebu Lions over the Rakuten Golden Eagles 4-3, 4-6-0 for the Lions, 3-4-1 for the Eagles. Takahashi got the win for the Lions. He's 8-8. Norimoto got the loss for the Eagles. He's 5-6. Yokohama Bay Stars over the Yomiuri Giants 9-2, 9-14-0 for the Bay Stars, 2-7-0 for the Giants. In South Korea, the Korean Baseball Organization, Doosan Bears over the Hanwha Eagles 3-0, 3-9-0 for the Bears, 0-5-0 for the Eagles. KT with Swan over the Kia Tigers 7-6, 7-11-1 for the Swans, 6-12-0 for the Tigers. Lottie Giants over the SK Wyverns 1-0, 1-3-1 for the Giants, 0-5-2 for the Wyverns, and the Samsung Lions spanked the NC Dinos 12-2, 12-17-0 for the Lions, 2-6-3 for the Dinos. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am happy to say that for the first time ever, we end this program early. In fact, we're 3 minutes before we end. I know I was hoping we'd go through the 40, but for tonight, let the celebration speak for us. That is it for us. The celebration of the Dodgers winning the World Series means LA is the city of champions and Tampa Bay is the city of lightning champions. There you go. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm Steve, the Baxman Baxley. Sports Central USA coming up. And that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions for the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. And for everybody here at L2C Sports, we'll see you tomorrow with an auto race that was postponed many times and hopefully will be raced. And we'll finally unpostpone our football recaps. It's all going to be fun. It's all going to be exciting. It's all going to be on time for a change. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Good night. Blessings. May your favorite team always be winners. Good night, America. Wherever and whomever ye may be, we'll see you and talk to you tomorrow night right here on our little YouTube channel. So long, everybody.